I'm going to teach you guys how to make handles today and how to trim. Now this piece I actually didn't trim. Real foot goes in the middle, and if it's deep enough you can actually put glaze in it. So that's what I'm going to teach you to trim. You're supposed to trim your bowls and then put handles on your cups. Just so you know, the body of the pot is worth 8 points, and then the handle is 2 points, and then if you trimmed also the cup, you don't have to trim the cup, but if you trim the cup too, you get extra credit and it goes to 12 points. So you're trying to get to each piece being 10 points. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is make my handle so it can set up, and I have some extra clay right here. And I'm going to roll a little coil. And then I'm going to stop because I have to go grab something. Okay, I'm back. What I forgot was this thing. If you want to borrow it from me, I need your phone or whatever it is you want to let me have while you borrow it. And this thing makes prints on your handle. So there's supposedly 12 different types of patterns, and it's all based on how you position the coil and how you position this piece to the other piece. So it makes swirls, and it makes diamond alligator looking things, and it makes, yeah, that'll be the one, can you see that? That I'm gonna do with this one. So, just so you know, our hands are made in it's comfortable for us to hold ovals. So if you ever cut a handle in half like this, you'll notice that most of them are oval shaped because it's just more comfortable. A completely round coil like this is a little uncomfortable to hold. So I'm going to slap this down and make it a little bit flatter. Don't get startled. And then I'm going to leave this sitting while I trim. Okay, so I'm going to trim this piece right here, and first thing you want to do, and I usually forget honestly, is put your finger here and then on the inside here and try and feel in your brain how thick is this, because if it's thin right here you won't be able to do too much. Usually it's pretty thick out here on the corner. I've got some clay out there. Maybe if I had left a little bit more, I would have been able to have a bigger foot, but right now it's not going to be too big. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that you want to center this piece. Otherwise you end up with a foot that's off to the side and then your cup on the other. And so I have to, when you're on these wheels over here, there's circles on the wheel. I don't have circles, so I have to kind of not guess at my eyeball. So look at your circles and try and make a guess, and then you turn it on. Now I love the kick wheel for centering a piece because I was taught by touch, and so I can stop really easy right where it's touching me. Right here it's touching me a lot, and then you can push away from the touch, and then until it's an even touch all the way around. Now you guys are usually on the electric wheel, so I'm going to show you how to center with making circles. So you can see it's a little wobbly. What I do with you guys is I hold and we make a circle near the edge. Quite off the edge, but hopefully you can see this. It's quite thin right here, and it's thicker here. So we're gonna move it towards a thin area. If you can say in the thin in your head, like a little rhyme, it might help you remember to move towards the thin area. And I'm gonna mess this circle up and I'm gonna do it again. Wow, that was good. I think I got it right now. So mess that circle up. Just a tad this way, and then I'm good. So one of the things you need are 4 balls of clay. And so this is now centered, and I don't want it to move, so I'm gonna take a ball of clay and I'm gonna push down and around my piece. I don't wanna push into it. Your piece may be soft at the rim. A lot of guys, you trim a little soft in your trimming, and you can damage the lip of your piece. So I'm pushing down and around the piece, maybe up a little, but not into. And once you've got it set and contained pretty well, then you can go pretty fast. Don't be afraid to go fast. In trimming, it's a lot easier to cut off the bump when it's going fast than it is if you're going too slow. You actually go over the bump. So, all right, I'm gonna mess this up. And then I'm going to make 2 circles. So I'm gonna make an outer circle and an inner circle. In between the circle, that's going to become the foot. We're gonna get rid of this heavy area out here, and we're gonna go down here a little bit so that we can put some glaze in there, and then we'll put on the handle. So here we go. This is your ribbon tool. I really like this cornered end, tend to use it more, but you can use whatever you want. It's got a sharp edge to it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing over here on the right side. I hold my hand so that I don't move around, and hold this like a pencil, and I want to be touching this outer edge first. If this is the proper leather hard, it comes off in ribbons. And I found out that's not why it's called a ribbon tool. That this metal is actually called ribbon metal. But what I want to do is I want to put my little corner here, and then I want to go over the piece. I don't want just a new flat area that's down just a little bit. I want to blend it into the piece so that no one even knows that there was extra clay here. Now this is where, when you were throwing, you made your groove, and I told you to get that groove, so you push the clay up. Usually there's still extra clay down there. It takes a while to get practice to not waste clay. Some people love trimming a lot. Miss Priest loves trimming. So I would suggest, if this looks fun to you, that you leave your pieces a little bit thicker so that you can trim form into it. That's what Miss Priest will do. I want to get her to do a video at some point, because she does a pretty cool trim. Me, I'm like, yeah, I'm trimming, whatever. Okay, so I think I'm kind of done on the outside. Sometimes, I do this a lot, I'll forget to feel how thick it is right here. So if you tap and it sounds hollow, then you have to be careful. This doesn't sound too hollow. But I'm going to start right in this middle right here, and then I'm moving to that inner circle, and then I'm stopping. So notice that my hands are still touching, and it's coming off in really nice ribbons. If it's a little bit wet, you may have to bang your tool like that to get the stuff out of it, the clay out of it, the sticky clay. If it is too dry, there were 2 people today that I made them get off the wheel. If your piece is white, you need to get off, because if it's coming off in powder, that means we're sitting there and breathing it, and it is not good for us to breathe dry clay. If it is coming off in chunks, it's okay. You can keep working on it. But dry means you need to wrap it in a wet towel, a plastic bag overnight, let it soak up some of the water, and then you can, usually the next day it's good. Sometimes if it's really dry, you have to do it for 2 days. Okay, I think I'm done. This looks pretty good. I like to what's called burnish mine, and I just take a spoon or my fingernail and I smooth it. And I'm going to stop the wheel and show you how smooth it is right here where I just did it and where it's not smooth. So I just like to put those particles down, and it's kind of soft enough that I can do it with my fingernail. Still soft leather hard. I'm going to do it in here, get it all nice and smooth. Alright, we are done with the trimming, and now I'm going to put on the handle. Now, the cup is done, and I am going to put on this handle right here that I have, that I made a little bit earlier. And what am I missing? I'm missing slip. Maddie, could you grab me some slip from over there, some wet stuff? So what I want to do is get this handle on here. I want it to be a nice size. I usually make more than I need, and I'm a person that likes to get a couple fingers in my handle. Miss Priest, I think she has several cups that are 1-finger handles. I don't really like 1-finger handles. I like to get 1 or 2 or 3 fingers in. This one actually has a little place for your thumb too to hold. So I tend to be a person who likes a little bit of a half of a heart. So you can see my heart here shape, and I'm going to give a little cut down and check and see, is this still too big? A little bit. Alright. Any good slip over there, girls? No?
They're all dry.
Give me a little water then. Hey, look at that. Thank you, Mary. Okay, so here is our slip. Thanks to Mary and the girls looking over there. I am going to put some slip right here and some slip right here. And if you have a bad part of your pot, like it looks like I nicked right there maybe, that's where I'm going to put the handle. I'm going to cover up things. So I'm just going to touch right there. You can see the wetness. And that is some slip that I'm going to score. And I'll check on this one in a moment. Put that slip right there. Now I normally do this facing myself, but I want you to be able to see. So I'm scoring. This is the scoring tool. And then I connect the top first from the inside. And this is where all the weight of the pot is going to be. So you really want to make a good connection right there. Does it look? I don't know. I have to look. Does it look straight? You want to look straight here. I think so. So I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. I'm gonna score right here because that looks like a good spot. I'm gonna score on the inside of this. And again, before I connect it down, I am pushing it, making sure it's in the right spot. Okay. So that's kind of how to put a handle on. There are all sorts of connections that you can do down here, a fishtail and stuff like that. So the last thing I sort of do is I look and see, is it comfortable? It's kind of far away. I don't really like that. I think I'm going to bring it in a little bit. I can get 3 fingers in. It looks straight. It looks straight across the circle this way, I think. And I am ready to put my name right here. If I were you guys, I'd be writing my name with probably a needle tool. I give you permission to write with a needle tool, but it's still better with a pencil if you can. And then I don't write my name. I have a really nice stamp that I like, and I will sometimes put it right here. I'll put it here, and that's my stamp right there. So this is ready to go outside and fire. So 2 cups with handles, extra credit if you trim, 2 bowls, trimmed feet, and that's it. Go to work.